I did a video a few days ago on the flexible jerry can. I think I called it a Flexi Jerry, but actually the name is JerryFlex. So I just wanted to clarify that. Two questions arose out of that video. How big is this fuel bladder? The one that I bought is 3.5 litres. I looked at a 5 litre as well, but it was just too big. 3.5 litres will get me out of trouble in Victoria. The second question was, how did I mount it to the bike? And I want to show you that right now. You're going to need a Flexi Jerry by liquidcontainment.com.au. I'm sure there are some other copies around. And you're going to need some heavy duty cable ties, or zip ties as the Americans call them. First things first, take the funnel out. I don't think that will survive the trip there. I located the funnel into my tool tube, and then the next part is to actually mount the bag. I'll slip the bag into place first of all. Take a cable tie through the eye and around any part of the framework in your pannier frames. There, and just let it hang. When you're putting it in place, the bag weighs 3.5 kilos or 3 kilos. And then the second cable tie up here into this spot. Third one is around here. You'll notice this bit of gaffer tape, and I've got a bit of foam rubber in behind there on that side. That's because there are 2 bolt heads there that I didn't want to rub on the bag, cause an abrasion and a hole in the bag. I just tighten these up a little bit. 4th hole, and for this one I came around the front of the framework here. Once again, I'm just trying to get that control that lateral movement here, because braking and accelerating, I don't want the bag rubbing on anything that I can't see, whether it's the frame, the pannier frame, or whether it's something from my panniers that it might rub on and cause damage to the panniers. So they're in place now, those 4 ties. It's not going anywhere. You could ride with it just like that. But then I just tighten them up, and I made sure that I put this part that I'm going to cut off in a place where it's not going to rub on my panniers or the pannier straps. So I tighten these, and as I tighten them, I relocate the head of the cable tie into a place that's not going to cause any damage. One last thing that I did was I put one more cable tie around here and onto here, and this is probably overkill. Each of these cable ties is rated to 100 kilograms of braking strain. Between those 5, they're going to hold 500 kilograms of weight, and that was that. I tightened them into place. I snipped off the end of the cables. Now that leaves a sharp point right here, so I used a very sharp knife and I flattened this right out. So I just cut it off to the surface of the head of the cable tie, and it was out of the way. So I'll give you a quick look at how that looks now in place. I'm not going to waste all my cable ties here, but you can see it's nicely in line with the frame. In fact, if I wanted to, even without the protection of the panniers, I'd be quite happy to go on a day trip with that strapped into place just like that. I don't see any problem with that. I don't see any safety risk with that right there. I think it's well and truly clear of everything. And once I had tightened this zip tie and juggled them around a little bit, I ended up with no scratching at all to the paintwork of the bike or to the transfers that are here. So there was no damage caused at all. So in answer to the question on the video, and thank you very much for those questions, that's how big the JerryFlex is, and it's also how I secured it to the bike. Till next time.